Welcome to episode 2 of Voices of DeKalb County Sports. I am your host, Mark Everett Kelly. I would like to thank our sponsor, the Cattle Stampede up in Fort Payne. They're a great restaurant. You get a buffet, you get steak, you get uh, ribs, you get mashed potatoes, you get corn at a great family price. I love going there. You'll be very happy with the food and the service. The Cattle Stampede up in Fort Payne. I'd also like to thank Fired Up Network, who is helping us out by sending us out over 200 different platforms so we can be seen throughout the world. As we continue with our look at the 2024 Fort Payne football season, they'd started out 0-2, where their season was about to change here at Southside Stadium for the third game. It was a nasty night. They were trailing 13-3 in the fourth quarter when they came back with Dax Fornador throwing a touchdown pass to cut it to 13-11 after they got to two-point conversion. Still, with only 2 minutes and 18 seconds left, they were driving down the field again when Connor Hughes took the field for a 55-yard field goal attempt. Now, he had hit a 57-yarder in the first half, but this, with the weather, talking driving rain, I remember I was coming home from Sylvania listening to the game on the radio. And as he lined up for the kick, I know Connor could kick. Believe me, Connor is one of the best field goal kickers you'll ever get to see. Forget about high school, just overall. I was saying, gee, I don't know if he can really do this. Well, 80s rock icon Richard Marx had some words in a song that went, "Welcome to the big time. You're bound to be a star." No? I tried. Anyway, Connor Hughes was about to find out that his time to be a star was now. Connor and I talked about it when he stopped by the Cattle Stampede. After you guys start 0-2, you had some success, right? Your 4 years there. What went on kind of in the locker room heading into the game against Southside?
Uh, Same thing that always goes on, just being focused and just knowing what to do, what we had practiced with all week, and just go out and do your job like you're supposed to. Nothing really changed because we trusted in what we had prepared to do, and we knew that if we went out and did like we were supposed to, that we could win the game.
Take a little Bill Belichick, just do your job, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you guys start out where they pretty much dominate. They have a lot of big plays. They ran for like over 260 yards, I believe, but the defense never broke. They would bend, but they didn't break.
Yes.
And then you guys worked it to where you're down 13-3 in the fourth quarter, and then you come back late. I know it was really bad weather out there that night, right? But the good part for you is explain kind of the first half when you made that long field goal, I believe 57 yards.
Yes, sir.
Was there any kind of doubt or was a win with you? Or like, how do you kick and win that bad and be confident?
Really? I didn't feel like there was as much wind as there was said. I know hurricane was coming through, but I didn't really feel like
just a hurricane.
Yeah, I don't feel like the wind was as bad as it was said to be. But really, just can't overthink any of it. Just go out there and just make the same kick you always do. Can't aim it too far one way or the other. The wind will take hold of it and move the ball. But that night, on that going that way, wind was more to our back, so it don't matter anyway. Just kick it, just normal down the middle.
Okay, so both times that you kicked, you had the wind at your back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you weren't kicking against the wind.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever see Adam Vinatieri's field goal in that Tuck game?
I think so.
He hit, I believe, like a 44-yarder in the driving snowstorm, and he had to kick it almost low.
Yeah.
Because if you got it up too high, you wouldn't have had the distance. What do you think was like the toughest kind of kick to make? Would that be one of them?
That was.
If you're watching that game as a kicker, you're saying, how the heck did that guy make that kick?
Yes, that is a hard kick to make. Preferably, I hate it when the wind's going back and forth, kind of like across the field goals, because then it makes it to where it'll push the ball out of it. If it's in your face or going with you, it's more just straight on, less aiming part of it. But when it's going back and forth across the field goal, I personally think it's harder because if you hit it just a little bit wrong, the wind will carry the ball out of the goalpost.
Wow. Yeah, I think a lot of people just kind of accept, okay, there's a field goal kicker. You don't really realize like the mental game you have to have.
Yeah.
Just go out there and try and make a field goal. I compare it to kind of like a hockey goalie, where you gotta be on all the time, stopping shots. With the limits that you have, whether it's length or whether it's just got to narrow through the goalpost, that's got to take a certain amount of discipline and a certain amount of skill, obviously.
Yes.
Going into the fourth quarter, you guys are down by 10 points. You have a drive where Barnador completes a touchdown pass to Carter Tinker. You guys make actually a 2-point conversion. After, wasn't there a penalty? You kicked the extra point, it was a penalty, and then you wanted to
Yes, I think they jumped off sides.
Yeah. So now you know a field goal wins the game.
Yeah.
As you guys get the ball back, because you had a turnover, I believe, you get the ball back, and you're going down. And the play before you're about to kick the field goal, Dax gets sacked. Coach Elmore said Dax was pretty mad that he took a sack. And Coach said he's trying to talk to him about, just calm down. And he's thinking he's not going to hold the ball right because you're going to screw something because he's so angry. Did he say anything to you? Like, did you get that sense when you ran on the field?
I never really talked to him before the kick. He may say something to me or right as he's going down to hold it. But I knew he'd be mad. That's how he is. He makes a mistake, he's going to get upset about it.
And you lost about maybe 5-10 yards. How much? So what are you thinking when you're on the sideline? You're like, wait a minute. I had a probably 49-yarder. Now I got to kick a 55-yarder.
When I go out there, I actually don't look at the distance.
Why?
I just trust that I can make it wherever it is. So I just go out there and I don't, because looking at the distance may get with you or something. Like, oh, that's a farther one. But if you don't look at the distance, it's just everything's just an extra point at that time. So just kick it all the same.
Wow. So, I mean, you actually got to put more light into further kicks.
Yes.
But what you said is interesting. It's kind of like an extra point.
Yes.
Same the mentality, you just kick hard.
And really, for me, I kick my extra points the same that I'd kick that 57.
Oh.
I don't do less leg or anything because then that changes tempo and rhythm of your kick. So you're more liable to make a mistake to miss the kick. So I just kick everything the same, and it don't matter if it's extra point or if it's 57-yarder, it's going to be the same kick. But I know it won't affect him. He'll just move on next play. So I had full faith in him to have a good hold.
As you're getting ready to run out in the field, anybody say anything to you?
I really don't remember. I know their Southside's line was yelling at me a little bit, asking if I could do it again.
Really?
But other than that, I don't exactly remember anything else being said to me.
Did you say anything if you made the kick?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. But I mean, if they're chopping at you before the kick, must have felt good to make that.
Yes, it did.
But there's still 2:18 left in the game, and your defense had to come up big. They wound up ending the game, and then you guys had your first win. And then that kind of vaulted you into your long win streak. Then it was another game until you guys lost at Oxford. How did it feel as a unit to win a game that you were down by 10? And what did it show you as a team? What kind of confidence did it give you guys?
It gave us confidence that we could. We were still a good team. We knew there was still some things we needed to work on, but we came away with the win. So, of course, have more confidence in the team, but just continue to work to get better because obviously in that game we weren't perfect and there was still things we needed to work on. But just keep working hard. But we had more confidence in ourselves that we could win games and start a run.
Well, Fort Payne got their first win. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a game against Mae Jemison, which this guy had a pretty good game. After the dramatic win over Southside, Fort Payne came home here to Fort Payne Stadium, where they were starting what we call the Batman Villain part of their schedule. Home against May Jemison, and the next week home against Mortimer Jordan. I mean, they sound like great Batman villains, don't they? Well, against May Jemison, their offense came to play, and they had a coming out party. Dax Barnador threw 2 touchdown passes, one to Blake Riggs, and one to Brandon Oliver, who is now back full healthy. And when Brandon is healthy, he's the gangster leader of that wide receiver corps. That includes Riker Shankles. That includes Kyle Calamari. Calamari, I hope I'm saying that right. I mean, if you get hungry when you say his last name, I'm probably saying it right. Carter Tinker, another great runner and receiver. Blake Riggs, a guy that had 7 catches against Scottsboro. These are all elite members of that receiving unit. And Brandon especially, him and Dax just had such a great chemistry that they developed over their first 3 years that they were now getting to enjoy as seniors. I got to talk to the 2 of them about it after their win. Brandon! Hey, Mark, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you're a baseball player.
Yes, sir.
You were in the North-South game, right? Yeah. So how did it feel to connect, finally, and feel like you were in the flow? Like
It felt like last year.
Finally getting him back healthy, and we're rolling, and so I'm really proud of him. So throw the ball, he's gonna go up and get it.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you guys kind of, the pressure was off a little bit after that win last week? It kind of lifted a little bit of the when are we going to win thing?
I feel like it did. It did.
But, we didn't panic. We knew it was coming. So we just kind of keep grinding and going at it, and we knew we'd eventually start cooking. So that's the plan from here on out.
So you and Gadsden City, the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in your region. So you get them, I think, in 2 weeks. You guys just keep plugging, because your offense is just going to start kicking into gear. All right? Like, I love being on the sideline here and getting to interact with the kids after the game. I mean, sometimes I had to chase them down, but the kids love to be interviewed. And I love to interact with them and tease them about it, especially Dax, who was such a good sport, and Brandon too. I remember having to chase them. Like, I was waiting for them to do the interview, and then I think their girlfriends wanted to talk, and they kind of snuck away. And I'm like, guys, come on, you're killing me here. I got to chase you down to do an interview. But they were really happy. The team was really happy. And lost in that was Connor Hughes, who had 4 field goals. Coach Elmore was a little disappointed because their red zone maybe red zone offense wasn't as effective as you would like. But Connor's 4 field goals were the addition to a blowout win, which saw them up 32-0 to halftime. Riker Ingalls, by the way, had a blocked punt for a safety. Caden Adams also ran for a touchdown. Like, just a total team offensive effort. We talked to Connor about that game and his 4 field goals when he came to join me at the Cal Stampede. County Sports, we are here with Connor Hughes, the excellent field goal kicker for Fort Payne last year. So you guys, a big win against Southside. Now you come home against May Jemison and you're up 32-0 at the half. Pretty much an easy game. But you 4 for 4 for field goals. What was that?
It was really good. That was the most field goals I'd ever kicked in a game before. So it was something special to get to go out there 4 plays and make 4 field goals. I think I scored 17 or 18 points that night, so that was really good. Just always fun to get to go out there and play the game. Being a kicker, you on the sidelines more than you're on the field, but getting to go out there a lot to actually kick. And although extra points you're still getting to kick, but field goals are more fun to go out there and kick. So more field goals that night was definitely it was a good experience, really fun for me.
First 3 games, rush defense was vulnerable. Let's just say that. I believe they allowed 250 yards to Scottsboro, about 180 to Garnersville, and then another 200 against Southside. But they really shut down May Jemison. Didn't allow any touchdowns. How do you feel to see the defense rising up and kind of ending their let's just say inconsistency?
It felt good to see them not giving up any points or anything. of course, in the first 3 games, they had given up some yards, but not many points. But then in this game, they were not giving up yards or points. So that's especially good. And just to see, because we knew we had a good defense, and they were playing really good, and knowing that them playing like that the game would be ours, and we could control the whole game was a good feeling.
In comes Jordan. Very tough team defensively, and it's a defensive struggle. Fort Payne opens up a 10-0 lead on a Connor Hughes field goal and on a Carter Blaylock touchdown reception from Dax Farnador, who finished 24 for 30 for over 250 yards. But the key to this game for the Wildcats was their second very strong defensive effort. Here's how it went. Leading 10-0 at the end of the first half, Mortimer Jordan drives down, facing a 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line, and Fort Payne's defense comes up big and stops him. And then the field goal kicker for Mortimer Jordan winds up shanking the field goal. No points. 3rd and goal at the 1 turns into no points. Fast forward to the 4th quarter, after a touchdown run by Carter Tinker, the Fort Payne Wildcats now have a 16-6 lead. 4th and goal at the 10-yard line. The Wildcats again come up big, stop. However, flag on the play, Mortimer Jordan gets another shot at the 5-yard line, and again the Wildcats defense stops them. That was the difference in the game, and that's the difference in a Fort Payne defense the first 3 games that allowed 22.5 points per game and has allowed only 12 in their 2 wins over Mae Jemison and Mortimer Jordan. So with their season pretty much turned around now with 3-2, from 0-2, possibly 0-3, to now 3-2, as they hit the road, getting ready to play Buckhorn. Connor and I talked about it when he came by the Cal Stampede. A little closer game, but your defense comes up big near the goal line twice to again, second straight game where it did not allow a touchdown. You had a couple of field goals in that game too. Now you guys have a 3-game winning streak. How tough was that game for you guys?
It was a tough game. It was another one of them that it was a little rainy. I think another hurricane was coming through, but we played good that night and they able to make the win. Of course, that's who we played in the first round the year before that, and so we had played them before, and they may have been coming in with a little anger towards us for knocking them out the last year, but we knew it'd be a tough game. But we just kept winning and tried to play like we had been and keep getting better and just play another good game and get it.
Sports, I am Mark Everett Kelly right here with Connor Hughes, the excellent kicker from last year's Fort Payne football team. Now you got Buckhorn. You guys won 3 straight. And as we're looking at the stats, they outgained you, but you might have winning by 35 points. A statistical anomaly, I believe they would call that. But again, the defense, a little bend, but don't break.
Yeah. They, especially towards the beginning of the game, they would drive a little bit, maybe drive for about 50 yards, but we'd stop them, get the ball back, and we'd score. And if I remember, I think we were scoring a little more quickly that game. Mm-hmm. I know at the beginning of the second half we had a kickoff return for a touchdown as well. And so defense played another really good game that night of just stopping them, keeping them from getting any points.
So, 42-7. You guys are now 4-2. On the road, you want to win in that game. You're Connor Hughes, and we're going to play a little game with him, see how well he knows his teammates in 2024. Name that number, okay? I'm going to give you a number. You're going to tell me who it was, all right? 45.
Like Caden Adams?
Yes, Caden Adams, 1. 6.
Blake Griggs.
There you go, 2 for 2. 9. 3 for 3. All right. We can try to go a little bit harder. 42.
Lucas County.
Oh, wow. 4-4. All right. One more. Let's see. Patrick Buffington. I think we got him.
What's his number? 15?
Number 7.
Number 7. That's right.
Not bad. 4 for 5. Look, Connor, thanks for coming down here.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
This is, check him out. Connor Hughes. Great season last year for Fort Payne. As we look into the 2024 season, it was great having him here to go over a season with us.
Good, man.
Thank you for joining us here on Northeast Alabama Sports Live. My name is Mark Everett Kelly. Thank you to our guest, Connor Hughes, and his very strong right leg that took an 0-2 season and turned it into 4-2 after their win at Buckhorn 42-7. A special shout out to our sponsor, the Cattle Stampede over here in Fort Payne. Great food, great buffet, great price. Like, your family will love it. You love meat, you love mashed potatoes, you love steak. You got to go down and check it out. Believe me, you will be glad you did. That's all the time we have for today. As we see Fort Payne go from 0-2 to 4-2, we will continue on with the third part of their schedule, starting with a very big game at Gadsden City that will determine who wins the region. Thank you once again for joining us here on Northeast Alabama Sports Live. We will see you next week. Welcome to episode 2 of Voices of DeKalb County Sports. I am your